or even fair to them, but because you're associated by standing next to the Heat, you get those attacks and you're a part of it. Yeah. So for me, when G4 came to me and they were like, we want you to join G4, I felt like I was like, oh man, they're willing to forgive my controversies of the past to let me start anew. And so to have G4 become its own controversy that, and the reaction attached to it was 10 times worse than the ones I had prior, it was debilitating. It was like not being able to enjoy anything. And it really, you know, it's going to sound weird. Like, I have 5 therapists. I genuinely have 5 therapists. I
have one.
Each one's for something different, right? I suffer from codependency in my never-ending ability to please people, to try and please my father and the legacy that he's built for us kids. I have a couples therapy for me and my partner. I have my own personal therapist. I have a business therapist to help with consulting.
Exists.
We could use that.
Yeah, well, like, you know,
we need the couples therapy.
dealing with employee conflict and how to handle those situations. And the last therapist is just kind of like an overall therapist that interacts with all the other ones to really track my progress and go through it. I've always had therapy at a young age, given because of my mom's illness. I've always just been, that's why I'm extremely extroverted, because I'm used to talking a lot, and a theater kid, you just want to get on the stage and talk, right? So for me, that was the first time where I felt like the therapy wasn't helping. It really felt like, oh, there's no amount of talking or self exploration or preservation or bargaining that it would really help me get over the humps that I'm encountering. And I say this with love. Losing G4 was like losing a limb. It really felt so personal. And at that same time that G4 exploded, I lost several sponsors. I was making that eShop video, and I was like, people wouldn't touch me because of the controversy
it happened
at the
around
time.
that time.
It was in the, I mean, it was before and after, right? It was like that middle area.
Is that why you had a hard time getting a sponsor?
No, I mean, at that point it was already happening, but like not nearly as bad. The final nail in the coffin happened in October, but the eShop video started in August. But getting a sponsor, I lost sponsors in the middle of that when it was first kind of firing off. And then I lost more afterwards.
Also, you made a whole MCN with it, and you were on that MCN.
Yeah,
and
I lost.
So you lost an MCN.
I lost that MCN. Yeah.
So all this controversy, backlash, it cost you sponsors?
It cost him his whole management, his whole MCN.
I lost it. I had 2 employees quit / I had to fire one, not because I wanted to fire. I made it a goal as a business owner to never fire an employee. That was my number one promise to myself. I would never fire or get rid of an employee for any reason. And I was looking at my finances and going, oh, I don't have enough money to do this.
I think we could, in this situation, say let go.
Right.
I don't think you fired anyone.
Let go.
You had to let go of someone.
And then the worst part is that the game companies that I was close with, aside from like the indie guys who I was repping hard with and messing with, I stopped getting game codes for games. So I lost access to, and I still don't have access to this day.
This makes no sense.
I hate this industry.
That makes
well,
makes
you know, I can't say, I don't know for sure. I can't blame G4 or blame past controversies or even lack of sponsors because of it all. But I can tell you, like, I stopped getting game codes. I stopped getting email responses. People just stopped communicating to me. And
they must have attached you to it and then was like, oh, if G4's done that, I guess he's done.
Right. You know? But the thing is,
it like became your brand.
Right. But the thing is that if you look at my analytics and you look at my channel,
you still have a whole
and you look at my audience
with your own merit.
I never stopped creating content once during G4. My views didn't disappear.
Was it outperforming G4? I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
definitely.
Your own channel is probably outperforming that.
Right. I made a TV show called God of Work that I wrote with the
which,
team.
by the way, watched it all, was sick.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. And like we were showing people that we can make good stuff.
Yeah.
My audience loved it. My friends loved it. Like
it's like The Office, but video game characters.
Yeah, it's what do video game characters are like actors in this world, and they have to go somewhere between games.
Yeah.
And so they get assigned a random job at a temp agency, and so I played Kratos. I shaved my head. I actually announced it and debuted here at PAX, and then in the middle of the convention show floor, I went and shaved my head.
Oh my God.
Because we started production the minute I got back.
That's
so
wild.
I flew back to LA, and then I shot 7 days straight worth of God of Work. And we loved it. It turned out great.
It turned out great.
It was so phenomenal. And it showed everyone that we can make cool shit and feel good about it. And
you had a fight to get that back, right?
Fight to get it back and fight to get it made. Every single like outside of the X-Play team that makes the stuff that we did, they were all so badass and they were so fun to work with. It was never Team X-Play or Team Tac of the show was the problem. It was always like the middle management of production that was like, don't spend this money, don't do this. But then it'd be like, hey, check out this new mixer we bought that's 40 grand. And you're like, no, that's an employee's salary. What are you doing? Don't do that. Anyways, wrapping things up, it really ruined my confidence. And honestly, one of the biggest anxieties I had going into 3DS eShop video was this thing might not take off because people are going to go, that's that guy that ruined G4. That's the guy that was a part of the explosion.
You had nothing to do with it being ruined.
The 3DS video takes off, and not one article mentions G4. Not one article mentions that I am a television host
That's
or a content creator.
I wanted to talk about that when you brought it up, because I've seen that where you're in the headline as YouTuber or gamer or fan, which was Go Nintendo said.
Sorry,
I saw
Go
that back and
Nintendo.
forth.
Sorry, you guys.
No, but that really opened me up a little bit to some insight on that, because they do it on purpose. They want you to click through to see who the person is. But Go Nintendo responded and said that it was more so. Well, they pretty much they confirmed it. They said like people might not know who you are.
Yeah.
And I wanted to research this before we even did this podcast. The amount of people that follow Go Nintendo on Twitter and the amount of people that follow you, the Venn diagram is probably a full circle.
Yes. I would agree.
If you're a Go Nintendo, if you're a fan of Nintendo enough to follow Go Nintendo, you're probably following Gerard.
As like one of the
that didn't make any sense.
As one of like the OG content creators in the Nintendo Ambassador program. If you follow Nintendo Life, Go Nintendo, any one of those social sites, chances are you've heard of me or know who I am. And it's so funny because in the beginning I was like, oh, this is so cute.
It is funny to see all the different names that they call you.
Yeah, I saw someone. Random guy.
Random guy's good.
Random guy was good.
That's upsetting.
Yeah. Someone. They wrote this in their article because they wanted to be clickbait, but they shared it with me and I laughed. It was like random sicko.
Oh my God.
That's good.
I genuinely.
I like that.
I popped. It was funny.
Yeah.
I was like, that's really good. What I felt bad about was when you start getting towards the mainstream outlets like Variety, Polygon, Kotaku, IGN, GameSpot. I know a lot of writers who work at those places, and to see each one of them try and do the clickbait inverse by like not showing who it was, I kind of sat there and I was like, I think you probably had a better time being like ex-woke G4 TV host, spent last of his paycheck on entire Wii U eShop or whatever it may be. But not one of them did. It was all just like in a very like, you'll never guess who it was. The article that really like made me happy was Games Radar. I think the headline was like, the completionist was the hero that we didn't and shouldn't have needed.
That's awesome.
That's lovely. And that to me, I was like, oh man, like they understood the piece.
At least somebody did that.
Yeah. And the piece was like, and then of course like YouTuber spends all this money in video game preservation, but he shouldn't have had to.
Yeah.
And it breaks down the video from like a narrative perspective, and then it brings in all the research that the Video Game History Foundation's been public about for years. And it quotes Kelsey and Frank over the years. And Kelsey did a massive tweet thread that I retweeted that was like, hey, in case you all are dunking on Gerard for not just emulating it, bro.
Yeah.
This is the reasons why you should pay attention to it. So it's been really wonderful to see that reception. And, when I say this eShop video gave me life, it really did. Because for the last 6-7 months, I've just been like, well, I'm that woke asshole from G4.
I was about to say, I love that I asked you, like, how did that affect you? And we've ended up at how awesome you're doing now.
It took a while. It took a while to get there.
Let's go, baby. I'm so
Back
happy
to where we
for you.
started the podcast. About.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
You deserve the world, man. I'm your biggest supporter, I swear.
Thank you.
I'll always be here for you. I'll
Jeez,
marry
all right,
you.
kiss then.
I love you.
But hey, I do, Bob. I gotta give you props,
me?
dude.
Not just
I
him.
get it today.
Do me after.
Bob, your videos are so good.
Thank you.
I don't,
Thank you.
and I don't know if you see yourself the way that
No.
most people see you. Like every time you do something, I stop. I put it down, and I'm like, Bob's got my attention.
Thank you.
Every-
When I watched your video, I was like, this is what I try to do. Like,
Yeah.
I try to do something fucked up that's like hard and tell it as a story.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that I like. I like watching that stuff. I like hearing the story of how they got there.
The eShop video, I say, was inspired by 3 people. H Bomber guy, because I love his style. That part where I like pulled the green screen down and talk about
That's my favorite part.
yeah,
That's
that part
an H Bomber guy thing.
yes, yeah, that's literally my like, where they're going to move from, Ben. Who's the house is for? Aquaman? Like that was my. I was like, that was what I wanted. So H Bomber guy was one. Defunct Land, I absolutely love. Kevin is so smart and so cool. And the third person was you. Yeah. And
So I gotta make room for his big head over here.
and it's obviously hard because I never made I don't make reaction content, or I make a lot of essay stuff. So I had to find that thread that I can kind of go through that was like part commentary, part documentary, but as most importantly the truth all the way through.
Yeah.
And what I feel like I don't have to praise you. You're kicking
And then
ass,
the
my
fourth
guy.
person that inspired the video.
I do.
Would've been.
You guys mentioned me on G4 once, you and Golden Boy, and I got that clip shared to me a lot, and I was like, oh my god.
The thing that I would constantly do is I made my whole vibe of like giving back to content creators at G4. So I was always trying to be like, hey, this content creator made this great essay about this. I made an essay piece on the Wada game stuff and how that all kind of evolved. And the whole time I was like, Carl Jobst made a great video that all of you guys should go see, and that this video is just blatantly copying in comparison from the work that he's done.
Well, that's what, going back to what you said before about YouTubers and content creators that go after the people who are doing numbers, specifically them. You're a real one because you're telling people like, we're trying to do what this guy did.
Yeah.
We should build this person up instead of just trying to steal from them or only going after the people who can give us clout.
We were doing a huge video on the history of speedrunning. And the whole time I was like, summoning salt.
Yeah,
we have
I
to.
was about to say.
And I reached out to him, and he was on board. We wrote a script. He didn't have the time, but like he vetted our stuff and improved it. And like it's to me, YouTube is always about giving back.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Scott the Woz. Because people don't really recognize why Scott is a genius. They do because they're like, he's a funny, talented guy who's so smart and he gets it. But what he does every time, like his jokes and his bits and his humor, is a particular time of YouTube. And that time of YouTube was 2008 to 2014, where I started and I helped pioneer it with John Tron.
He
and
feels like he
PBG.
should be in normal boots.
Right. And when we relaunched it, he was the first person I called. And he was like, he told me like, you made the childhood in me so excited, but I have to say no because I don't have the time, which was totally okay.
Yeah.
We never once threw it back towards him.
He's making monopolies, man.
He's doing great. I'm proud of Scott. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's why I love giving back. Like, you boys are the future. Like that's why.
I don't know about that.
No,
but I'll high five for
dude.
it. The future for 5 more years, baby.
Yeah, we're old too.
I know we're old, but I think for me, it's you guys and content creators like you guys. You think differently than everyone else, and you understand that the content is what matters, and that's the thing that people don't always get. They just go, if I make loud, obnoxious noises or just react to other people's content.
If I talk about Nintendo, I'll get views.
Right. And what makes you different? What makes you special? When I think of a Nintendo Switch ambassador, I think of you every time, hands down. I don't consider myself. Like I said, I'm the Wii U guy, right? I'm the guy that loved the Wii U, and of course I love Nintendo and talk about the modern stuff too. But the way that you do content, you're inspiring so many kids and so many young adults that want to get into content creation that otherwise wouldn't know where to start. And you were like, hey, the Switch is sick. This is what it's cool about it. This is what I hate about it. This is why you should love it. And that's different than everyone else's. Versus everyone else being like, all right, baby, who's on first? Let's go through the Kotaku article of the day and welcome to my 15-person podcast with all these content creators, right? Like, it becomes this.
That's just Spawnwave.
Yeah.
Respect for Spawnwave. Yeah. No. I love Spawnwave.
They're bros. They're bros.
Yeah, of course.
I went
joke
to the
about
gym
it all
with
the
John
time.
the other day. He's a good guy.
I don't know.
We joke about that all the time. They have 14 people on. We've been on their podcast. I'm like, where's the other 14 people? Huh?
They're always fighting each other.
But yeah, you guys have figured out your niches and how you work together. And I've always thought that YouTube is there's no YouTube community. There is that's a fake thing that YouTube's painted. There's a YouTube community for gamers and makeup artists. It's like, no, there isn't. What you have is creators who respect each other. And those aren't the same thing. I don't owe you guys anything, and you don't owe me anything at all. But we can look at each other's work, respect each other, and support each other. And we all have one enemy that we aren't saying, and it's YouTube.
Yeah.
They are the ones every day that they pay our paychecks and they let us live our lives. We have to fight them each and every day because that's the system that they've built.
Yeah.
But the system, the shortcut to that is, we'll just attack other creators and get views. Yeah. And then you realize, like, I always say this joke. Aaron Hansen and I have this joke, and it's so real, and it's such a great way to emphasize the zeitgeist of this whole situation. It's this YouTuber that's like, hey everyone, we just hit 100,000 subscribers. What an emotional and powerful moment in my career to say thank you for 100,000 subscribers. You guys are so wonderful, and I'm so happy and so supportive, and this video is for you. Scott the Woz is a racist? And then the video is like, in this video...
Can I get a clip of that?
Yeah. In this video that Scott released, this happened. By the way, speaking of racist, honey, if you use your...
When it's a drama video and they throw a sponsor in it, I'm like, I know why you did that.
Yeah, and then it's like, and that's honey. Anyways, thanks for watching. Patreon.com/thisgamer, and we'll see you next week. That was the 100,000 subscriber special, and it's like
that was a big problem in like 2015 YouTube when the drama was like,
it's a problem for a lot of channels.
It's still a problem.
Yeah,
no, I understand.
Well, if you have time to consistently and constantly be uploading hate videos to get your views, your regular content probably isn't doing so hot.
Well, 10 years from now, look, I'm not, again, I have a weird view of how I view content creators, but if I can take your guys' videos and 10 years from now go, let's watch this, and it holds up, fantastic.
That's at least half my content and all of his.
Oh.
Well, that to me goes, this person thought about the future of what they're going to see. Someone's going to see this video 10 years from now and go, this is great.
Yeah. That is something I aim to do. That's why I moved, and no shade to like gaming news channels, because there's a place for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But that's why I moved away from that.
Right.
Because I don't want to look back at a gaming news video from a month ago and be like, oh, don't watch that one. It says blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I want everything to be like, watch this one, watch that one. It lasts forever.
Yeah, like Defunctland is a prime example. Like that Kevin's videos you could watch his old ones from 2014, 2015. They're still just as good as the ones he's producing yesterday. Norm, the gaming historian. What a legend. God, yeah. Norm is
Every time I go back and watch one of his videos, I'm like, my God, how? I was rewatching his Tetris documentary the other day.
I got that recommended to me too. Yeah. I get all of his old videos recommended.
And as soon as it starts, it has like news footage or whatever. It
literally
it
a PBS
feels like
video.
An actual...
Yeah. Ken Burns' piece of content right there. Yeah.
And his voice too.
Yeah.
His voice.
And he's a real one. He's the nicest guy on planet Earth.
When I made my video about taking a break with Kim, when I'm like, we're not doing okay, he was the first person to DM me and tell me his stuff, and he's here for me. Do I need anything? Person. Were you? You might have been, actually. He was one of the first people.
Yeah.
Bob was at my house when I filmed it, so he knew.
Yeah, I was behind the camera.
Yeah. He was like this. Good, now cry a little more.
We need the views. Who's sponsoring this video?
Television, baby.
All right. Well,
I've talked too long, you guys. I'm sorry.
No, this is fantastic.
We like this.
Easily my favorite episode so
And
far.
you were worried we wouldn't have enough to talk about.
No, I wasn't. I was worried we didn't have questions. We didn't even need them.
We didn't need them.
All right.
Thanks for having me,
Just
guys.
hanging out, dude.
Yeah.
All right,
Glad
now
to finally be in your presence.
I know this is the first time you and I have
We've actually talked before,
Yeah.
but yeah, now we're actually.
told you he was cool.
Okay.
You had nothing to worry
I
about.
knew he was cool. I watched him forever.
He even likes your videos. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening and watching. Thank you, Gerard.
Thanks for giving us this
being
much of
here.
your time.
Of course.
You're a very busy guy.
Hey, like
with the videos and publishing now.
We're also at PAX.
and amongst other things.
And finding 20 minutes at PAX to do anything is insane. This man just found 2 hours for us. So
Yeah.
I don't know how you
So
clap.
be nice to him.
I don't know how you clap in the comments, but do it, please.
Oh,
Can the room clap?
Thank you.
Can the
Clap
room
emoji.
clap? I'll
Thank
get a
you.
knee clap.
Thank you. It's okay.
Falling
Jackson's
asleep.
playing
All
Candy
right,
Crush.
cool. All right, we have Patreon bonus episode happening right now. 100,000 subscribers.
After
Scott
this,
the
we
Woz is
talk
a
about
racist.
Scott the Woz and his racist
Yeah, in the
views
bonus
just after-
episode, we talk about why Scott hates everyone.
Scott's top 10 favorite slurs.
I'm sorry, Scott. I'm sorry.
Like the video.
Like, comment, 5 stars on iTunes or Apple, whatever the hell you're watching on. All right, get out of here. Bye. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Back at it again. Welcome back, gentlemen. Another episode of Steak and Eggs with me, your boy Asmongold, Emeru, Tectone, and we have a guest today. Papa Meat Candy. Welcome to the show. What's up, man?
Papa Meat.
How you doing?
Hello.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the first thing I want to do is like, so obviously you and I, we had a very similar experience, and I wanted to see like if you could explain what it was like to actually win a streamer award.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Like we wanted
Okay.
those. It was pretty cool, right?
Yeah. No, it was lovely.
Yeah. So
Very honored.
You went out there to LA and everything, right?
I did. Yeah. No, it was very fancy.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually believe how big the space was. I was very impressed.
Were you upset that you?
Kind of. I voted for Ross. To be fair, I let everybody know I voted for Ross.
Yeah,
I voted for you.
didn't you say that you didn't want it and that Ross did win? Or no?
Yeah, I did. I if you look on the playback of the stream, whatever, I got up and he was sitting. We were sitting really close, and I said, "I voted for you." I'm sorry, but I
Did you kind of have a hunch you would win, or not really?
had no idea. I mean, like primarily, I stream a lot actually, but I just don't really broadcast it. So it was cool to even be nominated. But Yeah, I had no idea. And also it just, you know, first speech of the night. Come on. And I'm just like, hey, art's cool. I'm like,
Please watch the art.
Yeah, exactly. People draw. It's cool. Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious, man.
I remember seeing the video of it saying your name, and you were just looking into the camera. You were like,
yeah. Well, the guy, they positioned the camera so early, and by that point, I like, you know, I had a couple drinks, whatever. Yeah. And the guy came up and he's like, hey, we're just gonna film you. All right. Yeah. I was like, okay. Yeah, no problem. Like, you know, just look at the camera. He's like, no, you just don't be natural. And I just like was like, and I looked like just right at the camera, and he was just like, move that way.
Wait, you weren't farming? You weren't farming?
No, I just looking right at him.
Oh,
Well,
I thought it was on purpose.
Yeah, I thought you were farming. There's this emote on Twitch. You know, stare on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I was intentionally staring at him.
Oh,
but he
okay,
was like,
okay,
he was like, look away.
Yeah.
He was like, don't look at me. He's like, look up there.
It's gonna reflect badly on him.
I guess maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the only other thing that I think that I had one clip. They had the beautiful montage. Yeah. And it's like art section. Right. And it's just me doing like a high pitched scream. And I was like, what the fuck does this have to do with like art? And I was like, you know, God damn it.
How long does like something like, you know, one of your videos, how long does that really take to make?
We try to do anywhere from 12 to 16 days just on the trying to be competitive on YouTube with like keeping up with the algorithm.
Wait, that quick? I thought a couple months for sure.
I thought at least.
I wish. Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like, you know, so the animation looks like, you know, pretty cheap at times or whatever, but it's just, you know, trying to keep it as like little rigs that they do on like TV shows and shit like that. But yeah, no, just 12, 16 days mostly.
That is wild.
Your most recent video was the Cheeto one.
Yeah.
Which was beyond uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the videos you make is just creepy, bro. Like, I'm not sure if y'all have seen the Cheeto video that Meat made, but oh my God, there's this part where this little kid reaches into his Cheeto bag and then he just lets out this low pitched like growl, like he's dying, and it is so uncomfortable, bro. I love it.
Like a cat in heat.
I'll have you know that the one that you did of me and like the Johnny Depp trial one, every single person that fucking hates me uses that picture.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that,
you just literally. I draw people a lot whenever it's like mostly like if they're in my feed a lot, and then I'll be like, oh, I should draw them, whatever. And especially the Johnny Depp thing. Yeah. You're every day. Tons and tons of deals. So it was like perfect, and I was already making the cartoon and everything. So, and then yeah, I've just I do the drawing videos on my second channel sometimes, and that was just like perfect.
Oh, everybody knows it. Like I was talking to my dad last night. I'm like, yeah, so we're gonna have this guy on. He does like animation, like art stuff on Twitch. And he's like, well, what does he do? I'm like, well, he did this one thing of me. And like, I show it to him. He's like, well, that's great. Well, yeah, no, it's very well liked. And yeah, I think that the videos are just great. And so you stream yourself making the videos. So is that kind of how it works?
Yeah.
How's that process work?
I've been trying to be a little more collaborative with like even chat and stuff, and like just trying to like.
Should I add an extra finger?
Yeah, exactly. Should he have 6?
Yeah.
Why not? No, mostly just like topics. Like I'll be like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this or that, and like getting their input. Like, so we're doing like the Sneeko and Charlie video this week, and that was just because it was a big topic of conversation in the chat. So like that was easy to be like, oh, people are interested in this. This is fun. I already also have done Sneeko before, so it's like I get to reuse assets and stuff. And
you'll probably do Sneeko again with his trajectory.
Maybe.
Guaranteed there will be another video.
Dude, that was shocking. Like the entire situation got way worse. Like when they started pulling out guns on each other.
Everything like
guns?
So yeah, Emmy, guys, by the way, Emmy doesn't follow this stuff.
I don't. Like I'll see it on my feed and I'll be like 10 million views in one day. I guess I'll watch that later, then I just don't, because I don't really get into drama stuff on YouTube. Like everything that I know is pretty much just like from Asmon or you like talking about it.
It's like in real life anime. You know, it's like Kira versus L. Only one of them's a complete dumbass and the other one's more critical. You know, like Sneeko just starts laughing, swing pistol around, so then Charlie.
All I know is like I'll see Sneeko likes Andrew Tate and like he's a cuck.
Yeah.
That's that's the extent of my knowledge.
That's pretty much all there is, to be honest.
What it was. And then so Charlie made fun of him, or like made a joke about him being a cuck. Yeah. And then right after that, Sneeko got upset about it, and he's smiling. This is the picture.
Yeah, this is the clip.
He's having so much fun.
He's jamming out. Oh,
and he's
shit.
like, oh, you want me to look at your clips, Moist? Well, look at my clips. And it's like a clips of his gun. And he's so cool because he has a gun. You know, it's like, meanwhile, it's like, obviously, this is like, he's never going to do anything.
Yeah, and the context of this is that Moist completely obliterates him in an argument and like completely shits on him, like trolls him, makes him look like an idiot. So his result is, as everybody who loses an argument is to resort to violence and like pull out a gun. Right. So it's also, literally admission of defeat.
Well, it's more than that. It's the Matrix that's out to get him. And
oh, yeah, of course.
It's a new thing. It's like the Matrix is the Illuminati for Zoomers. That's basically what's happened.
Yeah, and you have to escape it.
But that's not ironic.
No.
Why would it be
ironic? That is not ironic.
I thought it was ironic.
I kind of thought it was too. I thought Matrix was like code.
Yeah, like every time I'd see Andrew Tate be like, oh, the Matrix, I was like, oh, he's like playing his persona or whatever. No, that's wait, so what is the Matrix?
Okay, so think about the Matrix are people that disagree with you.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is.
I really thought you were gonna say. I really thought you were gonna be like, so there's a red pill and a blue pill.
Yeah. Well, I was halfway thinking about like explaining like the whole thing, and it's like
no. I know the Matrix movie, but I was like, well, what is the context they're using, and is it literally just the movie?
Do you want the actual like explanation?
Yeah, I did. I kind of do.
Basically, it's like all of the mainstream, well-accepted ideals, opinions, mores, social norms, etc. And you just have to go through and say, you know, like certain things about COVID, certain things about, you know, like politics, certain things about social issues. And it's like breaking out of the Matrix is saying things that are different than that.
And letting people fuck your girlfriend in front of you.
Okay.
It's very important.
Yeah.
It's a huge part.
Wait, so how did that, what's the context on that?
Oh, yeah. So Sneeko, for some reason, just wanted to give it a shot. So he like sits down in a bed, watches a dude rail his girlfriend.
And then just tells everyone?
Yeah, and no, the worst thing is he's doing it, he's watching it, he's crying while it's happening, right? And then afterwards he says,
like, well, you know what? Crying or
everybody should try this.
Here's what's so fucking worrisome about this whole situation is that what if Sneeko has a humiliation fetish? And ever since the Moist Critical video, he's just been furiously masturbating nonstop and made fun of by everybody on the internet.
That would be the best
I think
case
that there's
scenario.
a very good chance that's happening. Because like I will actually say, I don't kink shame anybody as long as it's consensual between two adults. If this guy wants to be a cuck and do this stuff, more power to him. That's great. But you can't be a cuck, cry about it, and then start giving relationship advice, and then call other people part of the Matrix.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
So he said that he cried.
Yes.
I want a round of applause to the guy who was able to power through a man sobbing next to him.
Oh yeah,
and like finish and be done with it. You know, that's
wait, that's
probably not the first time.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man. This happens a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
More common than you think, bro.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is that his girlfriend agreed to it too. Like that is just so weird. Like. I don't know, man. Me personally, I'll stay in the Matrix if that's what it means to get out of it. Personally, I'm good.
I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, you know, there's some. Obviously, like, it's not like every single mainstream opinion is right about everything, but it's also not wrong about everything too. And I feel like what happens with these people is like they get a little bit alienated on one point of view, and then they push back, and then the like mainstream people push back, and then it's like more alienation to the point where like this person's living in a completely different fucking universe. That same thing happened to Aiden Ross, I feel like.
Oh, 100%. The way like the YouTube algorithm works, like if you watch one of these like escape the Matrix videos, and I'm sure you like, you know, it's like, I don't know, like the Andrew Tate shit.
I watched a video about like AI waifus.
Yeah.
And it was like by this guy, and it was like, you know, one of these like, you know, hey guys, you know, women suck, huh?
Got him.
Yeah. And so then it keeps recommending me more of these videos, which is like, to be honest, they're great content for like videos. Like I love talking about them. However, that's exactly what happens. You know, you just get fed more and more and more of these videos.
Yep. Also, I am curious for the AI art. You're an animator. Like, how do you feel about that?
Corridor crew.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I see the the gripes that people have with it. I just hope that it's gonna be utilized no matter what. Like, there's no pulling back from it. So all I can do is hope that like we can utilize it like a tool, like Photoshop or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Obviously, art theft sucks. You know, nobody wants to feel like all this stuff. I think the biggest complaint that people have is that they're feeling like they're being replaced, or like the thing that they've like sunk their life into is going to become obsolete. And I completely sympathize with that. But at the same time, I'm trying to look at it from at least the utmost optimistic point of view of just like, can it be an aid somehow and not a replacement? Kind of like how I know I was talking with some people about like, it kind of feels very reminiscent of like when Pixar came out with like Toy Stories and all the 2D animators were like, okay, we're fucked.
I remember that.
You know?
Yeah, that was like, it's crazy to think because that was like 25, 30 years ago.
Was that the first 3D movie?
It was,
I mean, like
it was very transformative for the time.
Yeah, it was Pixar's big thing.
I did not know that.
Technically, I think the first 3D was Jar Jar Binks. I'm pretty sure. In Phantom Menace.
Really?
I think he was literally the first like 3D character in a movie.
I'm trying to think. About
He looks pretty good too.
George Lucas knows what he's doing.
Yeah, man. Damn.
Yeah. No, but like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just hoping for the best. I mean, the biggest problem with it right now is it's just so easily accessible. There's no like paywall or anything. And the biggest thing I think people should be concerned about is like voice. I mean, like people have already talked about this, like, you know, people basically making like illegal videos with people's voices and likeness. And people are going to be able to recreate
this was
things.
So crazy. Like yesterday, you know, like I mean, if you played WoW before?
Yeah.
So like, you know, like the human thing where like the guy narrates, it's like, oh, Stormwind was, you know, being attacked and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guy passed away, but somebody went and they made an AI version of that guy who is dead, narrating all of the quests at the beginning zone in World of Warcraft yesterday. It's absolutely fucking nuts.
I was gonna say, it's seamless too, isn't it?
It's really good.
What's the reception?
Everybody was spamming cozies, you know, like the little peepo.
Oh, yeah?
Bucket. They're so happy. And it's like, I don't know. I think this is so much more crazy than like a lot of like other social issues, but like nobody even really knows how to process it in a lot of ways.
It's so, I think that whenever I saw like, God, I think like Stanley sold his soul to like Disney or whatever. So they're just like, we're gonna throw you in every Marvel movie. And he's like, you know, I don't care, do it. Whatever. And he's sitting there. And then Carrie Fisher, you know, she's been dead for 7 years, and they've been putting her up in movies and stuff. I think before too long, large companies are just gonna be like, hey, there's a limited offer where we're gonna give you $2,000 to sell your likeness, and then companies are gonna be able to use that, and then just like throw you in movies, have you say whatever, do all kinds of stuff.
You're like an extra for every single movie in the future because like one time in like 2027, they took a picture of you and your photo imaged into the database of extras.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
It is sick. Like in the moment where you're like, fuck yeah, that'd be
sick
dope.
and it's sick.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is,
revolting.
It is kind of weird too.
It's weird.
But I just think about like weird stuff with like, you know, porn.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
That's gonna be crazy.
Man.
Stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Or even just like, I don't know, like you're let's say you do get scanned into a movie.
Yeah.
And you're like shooting a child in the back of the head and you're like, oh, that's not a good look. Whatever, like that kind of thing.
I
like,
will say that at least now, like with the AI art, people are a little bit more discerning of things on the internet. Because for the longest time, remember whenever like Elon Musk changed the verification thing and somebody pretended to be like Pfizer or some pharmaceutical company and they said that insulin prices were going down to like $5 and like their stock went all the way down. Like at a certain point, people need to actually pay attention to where they're getting information from. You can't just rely on some third party to curate every single thing that you read and make sure that you never get bad information. So I think that is one of the
that's the problem though, is humans are very unreliable. I'm one of the dumb ones. I'm just a little sheep going around. Someone's like, hey, this is happening. I'm like, that's terrible. And then someone tells me the next thing. I'm like, oh my god. It's just it's like people need to be more accountable for things, but God, we're just so worthless on so many levels.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
It's also hard.
I've had that happen before. It's like, especially streaming, somebody will make me mad or say something that's not true, and this happens with streamers all the time, is some idiot will come into chat and be like, wow, did you hear what this guy said about you? He said you're a loser. And like, you never see the clip like, oh, he said I'm a loser? Well, he's a fucking loser. This guy sucks. I hate that fucking guy. He's the worst. And then they clip that and then they send it to the other guy.
I was like, what the fuck did I do?
Oh,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I know, like, obviously, I'm sure you guys get the walls of text and stuff like that. And I always wonder how you just from a standpoint of like, you know, my chat is very, it's slow. I gotta just do, you know, one-on-one with them, you know. Yeah. But with, do you find it hard? Is it hard not to cherry pick like certain things? Do you find that you gravitate towards? Because I know like the human brain really wants to like just grab onto like the negative things, but is it still easy to like conversate with this crazy mass of like people sitting in there and like just a wave of words at you, you know?
I will be honest, I am still one of the people. It's like there can be like, wow man, I love the stream's great, love the stream, wow, nice job, and one guy's like, hey man, you're not really that good. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not that good? Hey, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm trying my best.
I'm the opposite. Like I don't know how, like somehow my brain can choose not to see things in chat.
Yeah.
Like I'll like be streaming and later someone will be like, oh wow, your chat was like awful today, like saying this, and I was like, I didn't see any of that.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Like, I don't
lovely.
know. It's great.
I think I have a different perspective. Like, I'm okay if people shit on me, like 100%. I think it's hilarious. Yeah. I just don't like when people spread misinformation.
Oh yeah, that's
people say like, I heard you did this, or like, I stopped watching you since you did that, and I'm like, bro, that literally never happened. So I get
that's way more annoying.
That is being called like you're an idiot, you're loud, you're annoying. But like, I'm like, lol. Like,
the white knight aspect of things too are weird. Because you know, people come in and be like, God, you suck. This sucks, and then people are just like, hey. No, he doesn't.
I hate that more.
I'm like,
people that come in are assholes. I hate that more.
I know, because I'm just like, I'm not a baby. I'll just ignore it.
Yes.
You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, why don't you just leave if you don't like it? That kind of thing. I'm like, ugh.
Well, sometimes, like, they'll have these people that are just so fucking dumb. And they'll just try to, they'll try to come in there and, like, make you do something or tell you to say something. Like, this is the stupidest fucking thing that happened to me last night. So I was playing the Diablo 4 beta. And this guy is spamming for me to do a certain dungeon in Diablo 4. And for anybody guys who haven't played the game, all the dungeons are basically the fucking same. Yep. And so he's spamming for me, you have to do this dungeon, it's going to be really, really, really good. And like finally, after he types it like 37 times in my chat, I'm like, fuck you, I'll go do it. All right, fine. And so I go over there and I do it, and he's like, it's broken for gear. And so I do it, nothing drops. And then he says, oh, I thought yellow items were legendaries. And he's lying to me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you did? I pulled up his logs. I scroll up, and he's like, yeah, this game isn't anything like D3. Well, in D3, it was like this. In D2, it was like this. It's like, you know more about this game than I do. And you're saying this. And then he's like, oh, well, yeah, I lied. And I told him, I was like, listen, I'm going to run it again. And if I don't get 2 legendaries out of this run, you're fucking banned in chat. 2 of them dropped. I was very disappointed.
No, really?
Yes. But
he was right?
Yes. No, it was not. I mean,
yeah, he was.
But like the guy, people will just type the stupidest shit into chat, and they will do it over and over and over with literally no remorse, no self-awareness, and no self-control. They will just go crazy. And there's a part of me that enjoys it. I like reading the psycho messages.
Yep.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's people that's sort of like emotionless on their face, just typing things. Just like for hours. It's like a very beautiful piece of like, yeah, this would only happen today. Yep. Today's day and age, this is the only kind of new breed of psychopath.
Yeah. Nobody, you're never doing this. Like you, after you do this, you're like, yeah, mom, I'll take out the garbage in a minute. I love you. I fucking hate you. I hope you die.
Do you think there was back in like revolutionary times? Guys just writing a letter to someone, dude, every day.
Probably like government, probably like government officials or something, like something that everyone kind of knew.
Think about Martin Luther, you know, the guy who started the Protestant church. This dude got so fucking pissed off at the church, he literally wrote down a list of things he thought the church sucked at, and he nailed it to the door.
Yeah, like, well, that's kind of brutal. That's awesome. Versus a guy who's just like, bro, you gotta check out this cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to this cave. There's gold there. I swear to God. And he's like, every day of his life. And the guy's like, I'm not going.
Horrifying that'd be though in real life. Somebody nailing that shit to your door.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Well, it wouldn't be horrifying at all because you're the church, so you just set them on fire.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Thank you to Tokyo Treat and Sakura Co. for sponsoring this episode of Steak and Eggs. Experience Japan from the comfort of your own home with these snack boxes. Tokyo Treat, be your own.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, there are some of those people, like, I will do this. Whenever I see a really, really psychotic message, like something that's totally unhinged, I will remember it on purpose because I love thinking of them. It's like going to a zoo.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's like I have a collection of them. Like I've shown to me, Tectone, like all these people, like these messages, and like especially in like DMs, people will send me like an essay of like all kinds of like everything wrong with all the people that I talk to, like everything wrong with me, like what I need to do differently with my life, how I can move forward, how to make my streams good like they used to be, and just like everything. It's nuts.
You catalog that in your head?
No.
He saves it. He has folders of screenshots.
That cannot be healthy.
I think
you're gonna forget how to speak one day, and you're just gonna recite these messages back, just like blind, sitting in a bed, just like reciting these messages that you've memorized.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be great. I love that. I mean, you don't ever get this, people?
Oh, I mean, you know, people come in. I think people are just coming in. I think they're just like, it's just a little drive-by stuff.
You don't get like,
fuck you.
Kind
of,
you suck.
Yeah, exactly. This looks like shit. And I'm like, thanks. And then they just like, you know, drive off. But luckily not too much. But like I said, my streams are relatively pretty small. It's just me listening to music and I just usually sing. So.
Because you have like the slow chat. I hate that. I hate slow chats so much. Because then like when one person comes in and he leaves that comment, they're like, hey bro, you fucking suck. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. Slowly teetering up and I'm like, it's almost gone.
Almost gone.
Yeah.
Swear to God. So what I did was, do you ever use Chatterino for your chat, or do you just use the default chat?
Just the default chat.
If you download Chatterino, you can make the text bigger. That way, your chat.
Fuck you. You suck. You're like,
yeah.
It's like eyes glazed on it.
Yeah, it has the Vine boom sound effect.
Bro. Yeah, open the yeah, that would be. Yeah, no, it's hard. The slow chat, I always just get the biggest thing I get fixated on is people's names.
Yeah,
which it's like they're just usernames, but it's almost just like why?
Like why is this your name?
I had a guy the other day that came in and it was dead turtle fetus, and then like some numbers afterwards.
Oh, you remembered it?
Like 9.
Yeah. Well, I was just like, I don't remember. I told my wife, brushing my teeth. I'm like, there's a guy. Dead turtle fetus. Yeah. Kind of a bit odd. And then I was like 377. And then I just felt like insane because then 377 was just, it spoke back to me. Why 377? And all the collection of numbers on the keyboard. Why these three kind of thing. So, yeah, that's the thing I get fixated on.
Oh, absolutely. People have all kinds of crazy names and do all kinds of stuff. Like I love doing ban appeals. Have you ever done ban appeals before?
Mm-mm.
You should.
I don't think I've really banned many people. I don't think I know how to.
Really?
It is. Man, dude, they are so funny. The shit people say to get unbanned is hilarious.
Oh, so they can type back to you?
Yeah.
Because
so they get banned, but they can send in an appeal for the ban.
Yeah, they're supposed to like explain themselves basically, then you can like accept or deny it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
You have to start banning people now.
It's so barbaric. That's like that's some Martin Luther shit right there.
People like to go through them publicly, so it's like in front of your whole stream and like everyone's like judging them like executioner.
That's sweet revenge then, especially in like a video that's up forever. Yep, that's so good.
I love doing that. And it's like sometimes there will be people. I remember there was one guy that he was in like 3 ban appeals videos. This guy had gotten banned and then unbanned over and over and over. And at a certain point, I think my mods were literally just unbanning him because they knew he would pop off again.
Yeah. Did he become like the public, like a vigilante almost? Like, did he become the people's hero in a way? The man to die only to be reborn again?
There was one person who was like, man, you suck. You used to be good, but you're not anymore. And then everyone was like, true. And I'm like, I'm not unbanning this bitch. No way. And they're like, oh, he died for us, guys.
Truly a hero.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of those.
If you ever want your chat to go faster, there's a couple of tricks you can use. So I learned this one from a guy called Mizgif, and what he does is he says easy claps in the chat for me, or hearts in the chat for me, and then when you say that, your chat will explode with tons of emotes. You can just do that all the time until eventually you form a certain amount of brain rot within your community where they feel uncomfortable whenever they're not typing emotes.
Oh, I see.
That's what I do. Now the problem is my chat only uses emotes now. So I don't get to talk to you instantly, which blows. It's like the walls of texters that Asmon has. Those are the real gold mine viewers.
I actually have like 30-year-old viewers that don't use Twitch. They come into my stream. Hey man, first time watching YouTube, and they type out a whole paragraph, and it's like, whoop.
It's so like tragically like sweet though. It's just like some guy's just like, this guy means a lot to me. Whatever, and he's like made a glass of wine. Yeah. And as soon as just enter and it's just fucking gone, and he's just like, damn. It's like yeah, that's well with you at least it's like is it like legible now, like hieroglyphics?
Yeah, it's like the hieroglyphics.
Yeah, so you're just like, oh, ha, ha. You're like laughing with them on the.
My chat sometimes feels like delayed text to speech.
Okay.
You know, it's like I'll say something funny, Omega lol. I'll do something weird. I look at the camera for a second, stare. And I mean, like, if I look at my camera for a split second, like, the chat will explode with that emo. Which sucks because I went live the other day for 8.5 hours. And the entire 8.5 hours was just one guy came in and he was just talking about how great his ass felt after getting a bidet. And I talked about that for 8.5 hours. It's like when you have those viewers, like, they can carry your entire content. And then I spent $600 on getting Ludwig's bidet.
Oh.
Do y'all use that? Do y'all use bidets?
Yeah, every toilet in the house.
I have no idea even really what that. I don't know how they work. I mean,
it cleans your ass.
That makes
water.
sense. Yeah, I mean, I just do that in the shower. It's not a big deal.
But imagine if you didn't have to shower to get that level of cleanliness. Like, it'll.
I don't. I'm normally naturally clean.
Are you?
Yes.
I just saw you down like 6 Popeye chicken tenders. I feel like it's a war zone down there.
Don't lie. It was 10.
That's actually.
Just did. Don't lie. You're being kind.
That's a hot topic in my chat, by the way.
What is?
If you are actually that clean.
Oh my God.
I'm just being real
about this shit. It's not even a big deal. No, I don't have any of that stuff or anything. Like, my house is the same as it was in like 1998. That's about it. I still have the TV there from 1998. Played Super Nintendo on that fucking TV. Still have it in the living room.
I like to think that it was just like 98. You're like, God damn, this is a good year.
Yep.
we're leaving it like this for the rest of time, frozen forever.
Change nothing.
Does your house have a certain smell that you miss when you leave your nest?
I don't really have a sense of smell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your nose is messed up.
Yep. It's great because I never have to worry about somebody smelling bad or anything like that. It's not an issue at all.
So you've never worried about your hygiene ever?
What?
You never worried about your hygiene? Because I'll be real, you don't smell bad at all.
The only time I ever shower is whenever my hair gets greasy because it makes me look more bald on camera. That's the only actual reason why I shower.
And why don't you shave your hair?
He doesn't want to be bald.
Yeah.
Really?
Actually, that's...
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't, but...
Are you talking about getting a hair transplant?
No, I do not want a hair transplant at all.
Okay.
But Miz said that he wanted one, and he wanted me to do it with him, and I'm just like, all right, sure, man, I'll do it. Like, if one of my buddies wants to get one with me, sure, I'll do it. But I do not care at all.
Miz doesn't need a hair transplant.
No, he does not.
Like, I don't understand.
Dude, people get self-conscious about crazy shit all the time, but it's like, dude, who cares? You're thinning hair. You have some bald spots on your head. Who fucking cares?
I used to be so insecure whenever I first started streaming. I wouldn't show people, like, because like back then I was like way even more skinnier than I am now. And then like at a certain point, I just went out and I did a gardening stream and I literally took a shower with a hose on the stream. And after that, no more insecurity.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what people say. It's like that. Here it is, you know,
like
take it or leave it.
I feel like it is so unhealthy when people make fun of people for just how the body normally ages. Like people say like bald, old, Lamau 30. It's like, dude, you realize we're all going to get to that point.
Well, it's like the Lamau 30s. These are literal like 16-year-olds from Sweden that have no idea what's going to happen. Like they're gonna be bald 10 years before you are, but they just don't know it yet.
I always thought it was people that were even older than you, because most of my chat's older than me, and then they'll make fun of me for being 25, and I'm like, all right, you're like 29.
Yeah, you're like 40, bro. Nah, it's bad. So just, I don't know. I like being an example of just be confident with who you are, man. You're bald. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, it is what it is.
100%.
And it sounds bad, but them making fun of me for so many years for like anything that I do wrong or any sort of like inconsistency in my appearance or like, oh, it's like you look weird this way, it actually made me not feel good. Yep. I actually was bullied into having self-confidence.
Yeah.
Dude, same. 100% because I've been shit on so much. Nothing affects me anymore. I just do not care.
I think like also when you're a content creator where that like shows your face, the parts of you that are like people make fun of are part of what makes you like unique and like you know. I think it's a good thing. I don't know.
Like I deadass went into my underwear on stream yesterday and had full body convulsions in an ice bath. Like just straight up naked on stream, and I just don't care, bro. It was so funny. It was also really fucking weird watching it back. But by the way, I don't recommend ice baths to anyone. Apparently,
why would you do that?
Okay, so apparently it's crazy good for your health.
Wait a second.
Says who?
Didn't you say that whenever you played League all the time, you would take cold showers to punish yourself?
Yeah, but that wasn't like to.
That's different, guys.
That's different. The point of that is for it to be bad.
Yeah. Apparently, like ice baths have like crazy good effects on your body.
No, they do not. I would know.
No. Well, maybe Wake's watching this video and reacting to it. I'm pretty sure they do.
I bet it does.
Oh, look at this. Ice baths are good for your... Can't read that. Ice baths
blood circulation.
When done safely.
Also, it's like breathing too.
Soothe your muscles, reduce inflammation.
It's like it's a general. The biggest thing is I would rather have some. I'm glad that there's at least another perspective. The amount of times I'm like scrolling through TikTok and it's like some dude in fucking like,
wake up at 4.
in like Minneapolis in his backyard.
Yeah. He's just like, the benefits. This is day 37. I'm up to 5 minutes in the tub. Let's get with it.
He like sits there and he's like shivering. He's like, today's way better. I'm like, shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
You know, at least I'm not sitting in a fucking ice bath right now. Dude.
Yeah.
What have you done to have to?
Yeah, what have you done?
Clarity, dude. Yeah, I don't know what kind of horrible things you've done to where you're like, I need to get rid of this shit. We need to start doing some ice baths.
Yeah.
Like real, like mental, just like fucked to do that. I think.
Yeah.
Well, it's like these the grind culture, and this is especially true in like TikTok and Instagram. And you see that, and it's like that one guy from Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby. And there's always quotes of things that he didn't say that people will put up there as if he did say them about grinding. It's like, you've got to wake up at 4 in the morning. You've got to take an ice bath. You can't drink anything except for black coffee.
The Peaky Blinders character say to take an ice bath. Wake up in the morning.
Well, that's the mindset, though. Exactly, yes. And it's like this crazy culture that people have on TikTok and Instagram. It's just so nutty to me. I can't imagine it. Meanwhile, I'm like waking up at 4 p.m. and it's like, oh, let's go out to McDonald's and then I'll turn on the stream and play video games for 8 hours.
This weird thing about ice bath culture though is like, because you're right, it does feel like a new wave of like Instagram, like fitness.
Yeah.
You know, like wake up at 4 a.m. or whatever. But now there's like, it's just such a wide spectrum of people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the guy from Minneapolis, like a 98-year-old woman.
Right.
Who knows where she lives? She's somewhere. And then you have Russell Brand, who's like hopping in a thing too, and you're like, "This must be a phenomenon. I need to try this."
Yeah. To be honest, I actually would be willing to try an ice bath.
I think the thing though is you have to like stick with it though.
Yeah.
Like it'd be like if you were like, "I want to try ice baths," you'd be like, you're gonna do like a month of ice baths."
Oh my.
I don't know, man. I just think they're just not for me. Like that was like a near-death experience for me. I'm not kidding you.
What is
well, it's your first time though, too.
It, like,
No, but, like,
helps your
Look at me. I sound like I'm like an advocate. Oh, yeah. Dude, come on, stick with it.
I'm telling you again. Like my vision started blurring, head started spinning, my body started vibrating.
Oh, bro, you also said that you didn't sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, I think that's
That's gotta be It's goddamn cold water.
It was fucking cold. Like people thought I was acting. Like if you, I'll send you a clip.
Yeah, please.
It is bad. Like it was bad. And then I'm like in the shower crying afterwards because I thought I was dying, bro. It's so hard.
The ice bath community just livid by this misinformation.
Like I'm sitting there just being like, okay, just
fight through the pain, brother.
Dude, I couldn't, man. It was like, okay, control your breathing, control your breath, control your breath. I couldn't, bro. This was also right after game day where I was gassed. Like, by the way, dude, game day is the greatest thing that we've done in so long. Yes, the football episode was so awesome.
Did you watch that?
I was streaming Diablo 4.
Oh shit.
You should run it back.
Yeah.
Every game day starts the same way. I absolutely blow the first half, and then somebody yells at me for doing something wrong, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was wrong. And then I actually get up, because I don't watch sports. I'm not a nerd. I watch anime like a real man.
Yeah.
Right? And then I actually learn the rules of the sport, and then I pop the hell off on the second half every single time. So it's just like, bro, just tell me how to play the game earlier, man, and then I will actually play the game. I think we're doing one more episode. I think it's
one more.
Softball or something like that.
Is it kickball or is it softball?
One or the other.
I'm going to practice the hell out of it, whatever it is, because I would like to have one good performance. But right now, it's badass. Man. Also, are you going to be on? Are you going to play?
Oh, that's a lot. I mean, that's going to require me. I have to leave the house. I have to get up early.
But imagine how cool that would be.
But I would have to get up.
That's
and
true.
I would have to leave the house too at the same time.
I would be scared of you getting injured. Every game day, my goal is just not to get hurt. I'll do like one thing, like I got one tackle.
I know.
And then I was like, I'm good.
Got
I'm
it.
not worried about getting injured. That's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if you get injured, then you have a better excuse to stay at home.
Yeah.
You don't want to do the final one just for fun?
Maybe. I will consider it. Like, we used to have a game, we would throw 2x4s at each other for fun.
We'll do that for game day.
I don't know about that. A lot different whenever we were 7.
Yeah. What are the rules of that?
I would love to. I'd love to be in that meeting.
Yeah,
All right, so here's the rules. It's like a fucking stack of 2x4s.
You're gonna stand on one side of the backyard, and I'm gonna throw it at you. And then after I get done throwing all of them, then you get to throw them at me.
Yeah, whoever can
That's
get
awesome.
Whoever can get in Dad's truck and drive away first wins.
Yep. Did you guys ever like take one of your parents' cars and try to drive with it?
Oh, yes, and here's why. Okay, so my mom, there's this little button on the front, that had like 3 red triangles around it, and she said, don't press that button. If you do, the car turns into an airplane. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. I was like 3rd grade, and it's like 2 a.m. I take her keys, I reverse the car out, and then I'm like, I'm getting away from this hellhole. Press the button, and it was just the caution lights, man.
It was supposed to make you not want to press it.
Yeah.
Why would you tell a kid it turns into an airplane if you don't want to?
Because my mom was stupid, man. I don't know. God, I wanted to get out of there so bad. I was like, I'll fly away and I'll never come back.
I never took a car, but I used my dad's power tools. Me and my friends would make, or one time in particular, we used his bandsaw when I was like 9.
Oh shit!
We were playing Onimusha on PS2.
Yeah.
And we were like, we should make the. I had like a bunch of like extra wood. We made like the swords, whatever.
Yeah.
And that was just a horrifying event. My buddy's grandpa like walked over. He's like, "What the hell's going on?" And he was like, "We're making Onimusha blades," to him like that. And he's like, "I don't know what that fucking means." And he like grabbed him by the collar basically and drug him out. And then it was just really awkward. My dad came home. He's like, "What the fuck? How did you? What are these in the driveway?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry. I turned on the bandsaw. Made Onimusha blades with them. I didn't know it was bad." Yeah.
Yeah, I never did any of that. I never drove around. I had friends that they would drive around. They would get in their parents' car, and they would drive around at like 2 in the morning. Whenever they were like 11 and 12. Just straight.
Wait, actually?
That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. And then I remember one of them got turned in and caught for it, and he was like so mad about it. And then he just waited a month and he did it again. Wasn't even a big deal.
His parents, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was the kind of guy.
Hide the keys, first off. All right, no more.
That's what she started. Yeah, Emmy, you were a good kid, huh?
I mean, I never did that. I never stole my parents' car.
What was the worst thing you ever did?
The worst thing I ever did? I feel like, I don't know if I said this last episode. I got suspended from school once because we were role-playing Super Smash Bros. On the playground, and I threw a giant rock at a kid.
He's dead.
So what do you think was gonna happen?
I don't know. We would throw like a bunch of stuff at each other, and I just like there was this like broken off piece of like the basketball court asphalt. I just chucked it at him, and he like ran away. And the teacher was like, "All right." I got suspended for like 2 weeks, but my parents weren't even mad. They're just like, "Yeah, stupid."
Yeah, should have blocked. Yeah. Why didn't he block?
He didn't dodge.
Put up the shield.
Yeah.
I love the games that kids play, like the scenarios where it's like we're gonna pretend to be this.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember in like 2nd grade, it was like we would just play like World War II.
Right.
And, like pretend like things were trenches and go around and stuff. Yeah. And other people are like getting fake married on the playground and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's very odd.
I remember we would just throw rocks at each other. Like that was like basically the main.
I'd be very mad even as a child. I'd be like, stop throwing the fucking rocks.
Well,
I'm holding an invisible gun. Like, I mean, I have, there's no need to throw the rocks.
Yeah, just like grab it big handfuls, just throw them at somebody.
Hailstorm, like right across the face. Oh! Yeah.
It was fun, but I guess like now, I wonder if kids even do that stuff nowadays.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay.
I'm sure they still do.
See, I feel like I thought like phones and iPads.
Yeah, it's like you go out, there's like 3rd graders on recess.
Oh, they probably roleplay like Among Us and Fortnite on the playground now.
Ah,
that sounds.
Yeah, instead of like Smash Bros.
That sounds
or, like,
awesome.
whatever games we were.
Actually, wearing my Among Us shirt today.
there's definitely like there's definitely teachers that are like probably around our age too. So probably like watching that shit. And like, oh my god, this fucking cringe. So I wonder if there was like a war vet who watched me play World War II and he's like, come on. Really?
How we do.
You think this is cool?
Really?
Okay. Yeah.
Dude, I've never missed being a kid until right then, dude. Role-playing Among Us as a kid with my homies, that sounds like so much fun.
It's only ever looked fun. I've never played it, but I've only think it's ever looked fun whenever the VR headset and that guy's like chasing that kid. I fucking love that clip.
Yeah, that clip is so funny.
Just absolute terror in that kid's voice.
So you never played Among Us either?
No, I didn't know.
Y'all both haven't played it?
I played it. I had to play it once. And that was it.
For game day? For game night?
I think I was forced to. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That was me.
That was fun.
I didn't know that was your first time.
That was fun as hell.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like this game. Where's World of Warcraft?
Yeah.
What's this?
There's not even blood elves in this game. This is fucking weird.
Well, you can't shoot anybody. Where are the guns? Like, what is this?
Dude, I genuinely believe Among Us was probably in the top 10 games ever made because it's so simple. I have over like 4,000 or 5,000 hours in it. Every game's different. Dude, I love it. Like, just a simple game of deception. And the best thing is, the reason why I love it, it's like, I think the best first date is taking like someone out to an escape room. Because like you learn so much about someone when they're under pressure, like 100%.
I think it's taking...
That's also, that's very odd signal to your date. Yeah. How would you escape this?
What would you do?
Can you even get out of here?
Okay, so you can get out, but not this one? Okay, I'll write that.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Like, you don't learn about something. Like, okay, everybody can be enjoyable during a good time, but when you're in an escape room and you're stuck, and you're both just pissed off, seeing how they're gonna react is super important. Because like they might just rip you down, man. They might just say, "Wow, you're fucking idiot." Yeah. Okay, wow, you're pathetic. And I'm not like Sneeko. I don't have a humiliation fetish. Okay.
Yeah.
Get it back. Okay.
I'm not turned on by this.
I'm
not being mean to me.
Not for me.
The thing about Among Us, or that whole thing was, I remember people were like, "Oh, we should play it," but then I remember I missed one time, and then all my friends were like, "Oh yeah, we all just got really mad."
Yeah.
And that became the big thing that I kept hearing was, "Oh, it like ruins friendships. People get fucking absolutely heated in this game."
People take it so seriously.
Yeah.
No, dude. Okay, any friendship ruined by a video game, I see as an absolute win. Because,
that's true.
Dude,
that's true.
Because if one of your friends is such a loser that they're gonna cut you off because you underperformed in a video game, bro, fuck them. It's pathetic. No, I love that shit. I'm like, all right, sweet, get them out. Fucking go next. I don't care. People take this shit way too seriously.
What?
Like people take like Valorant too seriously, League too seriously.
Okay, well at least League and Valorant are like competitive games. Like Among Us, like you're playing for rank in Among Us.
Among Us.
You're ranked Among Us. Wait, wasn't that a thing they tried to make like an elo system? No way. That was like a Twitch thing, right?
I missed the ranked Among Us meta.
Yes.
Good, honestly.
Oh, that would be.
Do you think the game though is fun with strangers, or is it only fun because it's your friends piling?
I only liked it with strangers because I had no problem gaslighting and insulting and fucking with strangers. Insane levels. But like, if I ever had to do it with like friends, it's like I don't want to gaslight you and lie to you and tell you that you're a bad person for not believing me. Like, this is weird.
I love it.
Like, if I get to do it to a random person, it's like, yeah, fuck you, man.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean it was
Playing
me?
with friends was hard because I'm such a bad liar. Most of the time, I was imposter. After people be like, "I knew you were lying," but like I felt kind of bad. I didn't want to like out you because it was so obvious.
I love it, man. The thing, I made some of my closest friends from playing Among Us. Like, even one of my current roommates, just playing Among Us. Yeah, dude, I love it. Like, you learn so much. But like, even still, like, even for ranked games, like, if you were really getting angry at your friends over a video game, I just don't do that. If it's on stream, sure, it's content, but off stream, I think that's so weird.
I don't understand how people can stream video games and not get mad. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'll watch like somebody play a video game and they'll be dying to a boss and they don't freak out. They don't get mad. They don't throw their controller. They don't start banning people in chat, making jokes.
It does have like a layer of like, it's a little bit of a psycho. Somebody watching somebody just die over and over again. They're like, okay, like you're just like, where's the emotion?
Why'd you look at me? Are you talking about me?
No, because I remember whenever you did Manus and Dark Souls 1.
Okay, that actually like mentally broke me.
I know.
When I would play League, I would never get mad for like 5 or 6 years.
And then also,
I was mad at Manus.
Remember that? So she tried to stream Dark Souls 3, but she has a computer that's made out of like basically balsa wood. And so she turns it on, and like the game is lagging. It's like every frame is like lagged out. And I'm watching her, and I give her advice. I'm like, oh, you know, maybe you should do this. You should wait for this. And she starts yelling at me. Shut up! No way! Like, shut the fuck up! You don't know what you're talking about.
Did you see when I got so mad, I strapped a camera to my chest to film my screen to hope it would fix it.
No way!
So mad about this. She's like, okay, it's not working with the screen capture. Fine. She took her webcam and she put it like right there, and she's screaming herself playing the video game like it's a Super Mario 64.
It was very immersive.
Run from 2007.
The streamer POV.
You know what sucks? I went up in viewers.
I felt like I was the streamer. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, there's like a clip of me showing my hands and like screaming. It's like my POV.
Dude, that's actually such a funny stream.
Never got fixed either.
Nope, never. I actually got a new computer.
No way. What the hell?
I feel like I've only really raged with League.
Really?
Because you're just trapped. You're just trapped. Trapped in hell. And then also that's the time where I know what you mean by not getting mad at friends, but it's just a like being stuck for like 45 minutes in something, and you like start bitching with your friends and stuff like that.
Bitching and being mad with your friends is one thing, but it's like when it's like not like when it goes beyond the game. Oh yeah.
Looks like Hardcore Henry. Do you guys remember that YouTube thing? Like the FPS like gun thing.
Really old, right?
It turned old. I mean, in terms of internet, sure, but it got its own movie and stuff. But it looks just like that. It's great.
Yeah, I was
fucking dominant.
I was eating my nuts.
Yeah, I found Emmy's weakness for streaming is that she doesn't get angry or frustrated at things, but she gets annoyed very easily. Yeah. Like, you get annoyed very easily. Like, I will send her
it's even worse because I think pretending to be annoyed is funny, so it's like twice as much as it actually is, but then I actually get annoyed.
Yeah, no joke. Like, I will send you 2 texts each, and I'll just see just sheer annoyance, and I'm just like, I love it. I love being here so much. Yeah. God.
Oh yeah, or asking questions that you know will make somebody mad.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, isn't this like the first boss?
No, it's not the fucking first boss.
Yeah. You don't heat it up.
Why does he keep falling off?
Oh, dude. Speaking of heated up, did y'all see the IRL trash talk with Soda Poppin' last night?
I didn't see it, but I heard.
Okay, so pretty much what happened was, I'll skip all the fanfare. I was 3rd place. Russell and Lucari tied for 1st, essentially. Okay, although Soda Poppin' technically won, which was bullshit. But the gimmick was, every single time you won a round, you took a shot. Like of alcohol. Me and Surefour were taking like 2 or 3 shots each time we won. Okay. I lost because I passed out while playing because I was so drunk. Okay. Get to the finale. It's Russell versus Lucari. Okay. Russell is sober. Okay. I'll say it. Lucari is fucked up. Right. And then Surefour says, oh, we should just take a shot of alcohol each round that we win instead of every game.
Yeah.
And Lucari had to win 5 times. To win it all. Russell had to win twice. Lucari wins 4 times in a row.
Wow.
Okay? And he's taking double shots. He gets the final game. And I mean, you saw all this, right?
Yeah, I was in the tournament too. I left about halfway through. I was out. I went home to play Valorant. Well, I tuned in towards the end, and Lucari's girlfriend Kyuko and Russell were just standing up screaming at each other. I was like, they were like about to fight. I was like, what is happening?
Dude, okay, so Lucari, final round, he loses twice in a row, and he's gone. Because he is so drunk, he's gone. He's like fumbling over. I'm having to support his neck and his body with my arms and legs, and I'm pouring water into his mouth like a mother bird, begging him to get hydrated, okay? And then I can tell something's about to go wrong. So me and Wake, we pick him up, we take him to the bathroom. Before he even gets in the door, sprays the walls with vomit everywhere, dude. And then in the toilet, it was so funny. And the first thing,
that wasn't on stream.
It wasn't on stream. It wasn't on stream. Yeah. First thing he does, he starts begging for Kyuko. Okay. Kyuko's, thankfully, that's his girlfriend. In case you don't know, Lucar's girlfriend's Kyuko. Begs for Kyuko. I was like, oh God, I just want to see my girlfriend. Oh, I love you so much. That was on stream. And I thought that would be the only drunk person I would have to deal with that night. And also, I'll just say it, okay? Russell was barely drunk, and Lucar was blackout drunk.
Right.
Russell, you cheated, okay? I'll just say it. So I go home, and my buddy's on this thing called Modern Host with Amaranth, okay? And before this, I played the same game with each other, where for the first episode of Steak and Eggs, I say this thing called Badass. It started off as a meme, and now I just can't stop saying it. And my buddy LaRoe dares me to say badass as many times as I possibly can in the first episode. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. Okay, well, I did the same thing for him. For the modder house. And I said, dude, say badass and locked in as many times as possible tonight. And he's like, okay, bet. There was apparently this girl on the call before the stream started that said, feeling a little bit nervous. Anybody want to take some shots with me? And so everybody agrees. Everybody's drinking, apparently. But LaRoe goes above and beyond. Okay. So I see him and I think he's RPing, like just being super loud, super obnoxious for the entire thing. And then I message him, dude, you're hilarious, but you should probably pull back on the RP a little bit, like pull back a little bit. And he sends me some incoherent garbage. I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. Maybe he's like in the zone. He can't type. And he finishes, he gets eliminated, and I say, make sure to drop the RP when you get eliminated and like thank everybody for their time and say how gracious, like how much you appreciate being offered the opportunity, because he was. But he doesn't say any of that. He continues screaming, gets muted, and gets removed. So then I go downstairs and I'm just like, hey, LaRoe, how you doing? And his head's in the toilet. He's just like vomiting nonstop. Bottle of Jack Daniels, 70% of it's gone. Bottle of Bailey's, half of it's gone. And he's like, bro, I don't even know what's happening right now. I'm holding his hair. He's vomiting. I go to grab his phone. Didn't realize it's in a puddle of puke, right? So what happened was he got drunk from that, and apparently he was also taking shots with us during the game night because he wanted to be a part of it.
Right.
So he drank like, and he's like 5'6", 5'7". Dude, he's completely fine. It was so funny. But now I look back at that VOD on what I thought was RP, and I'm like, bro, that was not RP. That was one man who was high on Xanax and alcohol. Not actually Xanax. Damn. Yeah, it was funny as fuck.
That's crazy. Like, I don't think I've ever had an experience like that bad.
Really?
Like, I don't really drink. Like, I don't know. Like, it was never really a thing for me because, like, I always thought soda tasted better than beer. And so I just never drank.
Dude, beer unironically tastes bad.
Yeah, I don't. You don't like it?
No, people pretend that it tastes good. It's like, no, it doesn't, bro.
There's some beers that I don't hate, but it's not like I wouldn't choose to drink it, you know?
When would I ever drink that over Dr.